This is a unique tree. It's been here throughout our time here as settlers of this community. It has seen, if you do the math, over 2,000 seasonal changes. It has just continuously forged ahead, living and persevering and blooming and going through its cycle. And I think it's been a symbol of home for so many people.
For 6 centuries, this white oak has made this plot of soil home. It predates Christopher Columbus's arrival by nearly 100 years. Locals say that George Washington and the Marquis de Lafayette picnicked in its shade. It's believed that Revolutionary War soldiers rested beneath it, gathering strength before entering battle with the Redcoats. It has become the center of this community.
If you grow up with the church and the tree, I sort of feel like it's my tree. You know, it's my personal tree.
It's a wonderful place for it to grow up, and it saw so many things in its life, I'm sure.
I feel people are really attached to it because of the history and because of its place here in our community.
The tree that has stood beside this Basking Ridge Presbyterian Church and watched over graves and headstones since 1717 is coming down. It was determined in 2016 that this mighty tree had died. For safety, it could no longer remain at this site.
I knew that we would feel a great sense of loss and sadness at the end of the life of this tree, but I never would have guessed the degree, the depth of the pain and the memories that have been stirred up. And so, you know, for all of us, it's an end of one really important chapter, enormous chapter.
But felling this tree, supported by spikes, cables, and partially filled with concrete, is no easy task. It must be surgically dissected, piece by piece.
This is a piece of concrete that we tried to, unfortunately, cut through in the tree. We didn't know it was there. We knew concrete's throughout the tree. We found it with a chainsaw. It took a while to get the wood around it cut with the dull chainsaw, but we were able to eventually snap it off.
Under cloudy skies, a giant yellow crane towered over the 600-year-old great white oak tree that has come to symbolize the Basking Ridge community and Presbyterian Church. The tree stands approximately 100 feet, the circumference of its trunk 18 feet. It has a branch spread out roughly 150 feet. It took 2 days to bring the tree down, first trimming branches, then larger limbs, all of which had to be roped and brought down by crane to protect the centuries-old headstones below.
The one word that comes to mind is sad. It is sad, but we'll get over it, and we'll go on from there.
It's kind of like saying goodbye to your 200-year-old grandmother. You know, lived a terrific life, and it was a great blessing to have this tree here all this time, but it was time.
And now, only the trunk remains. Hundreds looked on for the final glimpse of the tree. The massive 48,000-pound section was slowly lifted and placed on the street in preparation for transport from the site. Accepting death in any form is difficult. It signals an end, absolute finality. Where a mighty tree once stood remains now a shallow stump. Gathered around, church parishioners, curious onlookers, people in mourning.
It's like spiritual. The energy of the tree still lives, for sure.
With the final cuts made and the massive trunk removed, folks grabbed what they could. Leaves, bark, branches. There was a desire to keep a piece of the tree with them, a memory of this colossal sentinel that watched over this site for so long.
Words don't quite capture it. It feels surreal. It still feels a little bit like a dream. And there's sadness, and its life and legacy will continue to inspire us.
You know, brought with it a real wave of emotion as you realize how much had been done and what a difference it has made. We all feel like we've been a part of the whole piece of the history here.
But there is a silver lining to this story. You see, in 2001, Tom Umbrello, a biologist and professor at Union County College, planted acorns from the ancient oak and grew new trees. For 16 years, the trees were nurtured, and the finest of the hundreds of saplings grown, the offspring of the famed Basking Ridge oak, has been selected to return to the churchyard his parent has shaded, blanketed with fallen leaves and littered with acorns for more than 600 years.
The tree that I kept at the college was the pick of the litter. That was the most vigorous growing of all those hundreds, and I kept the best one for ourselves. Never figuring that there was ever anything going to happen to this 600-year-old tree, and we just would have just the offspring. So disappointed when the parent tree died, but in talking with the church, I felt that that tree deserves to be here.
People have come to recognize that the outcome was inevitable. It hasn't been easy, and we know that many people have been grieving over the loss of this fixture in our local community. Now, having something that will be able to take its place, I think will be heartwarming, and it will be something that will help to ease the pain a bit.
We know that everything has to die at some point, and it's okay when you have the new upcoming generation. And so I think it's fabulous that we have the baby oak, and eventually this will be the tree that everyone, gathers around.
So as baby oak continues to grow, in a very real way, the old white oak still lives on.
It's a beautiful symbol of resurrection, of new beginnings, new possibilities, that what appears to be the end is not always the end.